Hello, I'm Jan Fox, and today I have two very special guests. I have Frank Ficadenti and Jeet Tandon, and they are the co-founders of the Ficadenti Tandon Asset Management Group. And that means you come to them when you want a place to invest your money and to keep yourself safe for the future financially. Am I right, gentlemen?
Yes, you are.
That's true.
Now, you just had an incredible experience. You're kind of local celebrities around here. You were just interviewed on the William Shatner show, Moving America Forward. So how did that happen, Frank?
Well, William Shatner has this program he's had for a while. It's called Moving America Forward. And what he does is he interviews successful entrepreneurs that are helping the economy, helping the country move forward. And through their research, his staff did research. They came up with our company. They found our firm, and they found other firms similar to us, and they put our firm in the pot with the others, and they selected us to be interviewed on his show.
So Jeet, you're on a jet, you're flying to LA. Did they treat you just right?
That was just perfect. We had a wonderful time in LA. Things were perfect, and they gave us enough time to talk to, and it was pretty interesting.
Tell us the business that you're in that made them choose you.
Well, we've been in business 15 years. We're a wealth management firm, and we've been managing client portfolios during that time, and that's how they selected us.
And so I'm certain that somehow they must have found some clients to say that you helped them or at least made them feel secure. They can't, by law, Jeet, they can't talk about the numbers or any percentages they gained by working with you, right?
Right. Typically, none of our clients can say what kind of return we got for them, because each individual is different and return depends upon what their risk tolerance is, very unique. However, our clients told this group that what kind of service they get from us, how happy they are with us, and how do we compare with our competitors.
Talk to me a little bit about the benefit that people get from you when they come to you.
Best thing we think about is we provide them the solutions. Most of the people are saving nest of eggs for the future retirement or for meeting their financial goal in the long run. We give them peace of mind so they can face future with confidence. When they come to us, we understand the risk tolerance, where the financial objectives are, and where they want to go, and we show them the path and help them achieve their goals.
Well, Frank, I'm certain too that they feel very secure after they finish talking to you. Is that one of your goals? Is that a primary goal for you?
Yeah, well, what we do is we try and figure out what lifestyle do they want, what's their target retirement age if they're not retired yet. And based on that, we develop an investment plan that's tailored to their financial goals and their risk tolerance out to age 95, which is what we use as a life expectancy. And then we come up with an investment strategy that they're comfortable with, factoring in their risk tolerance, and then we implement that investment plan, and we track and monitor the progress along the way.
And we get monthly reports or
They
quarterly
get monthly
reports?
reports from the custodian that holds the assets, and they get quarterly reports from us, which tracks their performance.
And then talk to me about where you keep their money. In this day and age, where do you put the assets?
The assets are held with TD Ameritrade Institutional. They're one of the largest discount brokerage firms in the country. They've got approximately $600 billion in assets that they custody.
As the stock market and as financial planning goes, it's as safe as it gets, right?
The cash that's in there is in an FDIC insured, for that portion of the portfolio that's in a money market, it's FDIC insured. But as far as the rest of the portfolio, there's no guarantees as far as performance and risk. We just implement a strategy, investment strategy, using modern portfolio theory that's tailored to that particular client.
All right, talk to me a little bit about modern portfolio theory. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it was developed in the 1950s, and it's based on valuation or size of companies, that based on mixing different sizes of companies, you can get and knowing what the historical performance of those size companies, small, medium, and large, over time has been, you can develop a risk-adjusted return by constructing a portfolio of those types of companies.
Very good. And Jeet, when you are doing something this complicated, it seems to me that people of a certain age are going to have lots of questions. So how often do you communicate with them?
We communicate as often as our client wants us to communicate with them. Typically, part of our interview process, we try to understand what will they feel comfortable with. So traditionally, we like to almost once a year we actually insist we meet our clients face to face, so we understand their financial needs are. Every quarter, we send them quarterly reports, and we typically follow up with the phone calls. Our clients are encouraged to call us when they have any questions. So before an issue becomes a problem, we want to have a solution for them. It is our goal to understand the financial needs better than they themselves understand it. So we do whatever it takes to get that understanding.
Well, it wouldn't take much for that to be true for me if I were your client. So Frank, talk to me about the very first step you take. Say I called you up and said I need a little help sorting all of this out. What's my first step? What do you do with me?
Well, we would ask you to come into the office for a 1-hour complimentary consultation, and during that consultation we would try and find out a lot of information about you, your background, your education background, your career, what your financial goals are, try and get to know you somewhat, and then based on that, and we'd also look at your risk tolerance, and then you'd bring in your financial statements, your investment statements, and we would review those, and based on all the information we found out about you and reviewing your financial investment statements, we would make some recommendations at the end. And if you wanted to move forward, if you thought it was a good match that we could help you going forward with your investments, then we would set up follow-on appointments to do that.
You talk about our risk factor, how much we can take risk. Is there a trend you see that the older we get, the less risk we want to take?
Well, it depends. It depends on how much money you have currently, depends on what your income needs are. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But in general, you want somewhat less risk the older you get, because if there's a major downturn in the market, you don't want to have too much exposure that you can't recover in a short period of time.
I understand that. And then, Jeet, there are all kinds of people out there, all kinds of organizations. Do you have a niche? Do certain kinds of people come to you?
Typically, we try to focus, we have two segments of clients we try to attract. One is typically anywhere between 50 to 65, 70 age group, which basically have already seen that they already settled down, they're reasonably well off professionally and financially doing reasonably well, and now they're looking forward for retirement, and they plan to start thinking about retirement. They come in and they have enough cash flow coming in, and they come to us to help us, so we can help them to achieve their retirement goals. Second segment of folks would be, which is basically small businesses, who's trying to get the employees some sort of pension benefits.
Oh, you handle that. Do you set those up for them as well,
Yes,
those programs?
we do, and we offer them retirement solution, basically tailored their needs. It could be simple 401k plan, or it could be defined benefit plan, or could also be different, depending upon the situation, ownership of the company, cash flow situation, we can tailor a plan for them.
Okay, that sounds great. So you have diversified yourselves as well. You're telling us to do that. You've done that yourself too. So Jeet, what qualifies you to do this work?
We both have master's degrees. In addition, we have certification. Series 65 is a certification we got from Security Exchange Commission, offers that test. We passed that test. And in addition to that, I mean, experience is fine, and we can show a lot of book knowledge and about certificate, but more important is that we have done reasonably good for our clients. Our clients can, if any prospects wants to know how our performance have been, they need to talk to our clients.
And the clients will say they love you.
I would hope so.
Okay. And Frank, explain that Series 65 again.
Series 65 means that you have proven knowledge. You're certified to have proven knowledge that you have knowledge of most types of investments, and you understand modern portfolio theory.
Okay, it sounds like a difficult test. I'm certain that not everybody passes it.
It is a pretty tough test.
Well, good for you guys. And then what about the geographical area? You're located in the hub of probably the world, Washington, D.C. You have Maryland just across the river. You all are in Virginia. So how far out do you reach?
We're primarily in the Virginia area, Northern Virginia, which is where our office is located in McLean, Virginia. But we have clients outside of the area. We have clients in other states. So it varies, but for most part, it's in the Northern Virginia, D.C. metro area.
And somebody comes to you and sets up a program and they move, they just take the program with them, right?
Yeah, since the Washington, D.C. metro area is fairly transient, we have quite a few clients that came with us when they lived in the Washington, D.C. metro area, and then they moved to other states for whatever reason. They retired or relocated job-wise, and they still stayed our clients because through internet and email and texting, we stay in touch with them and we provide them the same great service they got when they were in Northern Virginia.
Well, that sounds great. Then what sets you apart from other wealth managers? There are lots of them, so what makes you different?
I think probably the biggest thing is that we are a fiduciary, a registered investment advisory firm, meaning we put the client's interest foremost above anything else. And we try and get their target return for them while minimizing their fees and transaction costs. We get to know them really well. They can communicate with us by texting us, email, fax, Skype. And not only that, most important of all, the people that they deal with our firm are Jeet and myself directly, and we are the people that are actually managing their portfolio. They don't get a third party involved here. If there's something that they have a question about their investments, they can just call our cell phones directly and get us, they don't call into a call center, get switched around to different people. They're talking to the person that has their fingertip on the pulse of their portfolio if they have any questions.
That should be very satisfying, I'm sure. And so then, Jeet, why should we hire you over others specifically? We've just talked about what makes you different, but is there one thing that makes somebody say, I'm choosing you instead of the other firm?
In our mind, two things are paramount. One is the client needs to feel comfortable. They should have a confidence in our capabilities. And when they come in, they need to talk. We will give them a list of references. They can talk to them and see how well they've been, how well we have done for our existing clients and how comfortable they feel with us. Second part would be our performance and performance and performance. After everything's said and done, people come to us so we can give them peace of mind. They can face the future with confidence. Again, a list of references we give them. They come in, can talk to them. Our current clients, they can give them the feel how well we have done in the past. And lastly, our communication. We try to our basic mantra is client is always right, and we are their financial advisor. We'll do everything we can to make their financial life comfortable. Through our communication, we try to anticipate their needs before they themselves know it and give them idea, is this, the rock is coming down and we watch out.
Okay, very good, very good. And so then you can't talk to me about specific clients, but is there one client that stands out in your mind who's done particularly well? And was it more of a joint work that you did, or did that client come in knowing what he or she wanted?
I could think of one client offhand that just made a comment that hiring us to manage his family's investments was the second best decision of his life, other than marrying his wife. And there's a smart guy.
Well, you know what? He had to say that. He probably thinks you're number one, but he had to say number two if he wanted to hang on to his wife's assets. So
right.
Good for you. And Jeet, for you, is there one you've worked with that stands out?
Absolutely. So one of my clients is very interesting. It's this gentleman and his wife. He was doing his own investment before he came to talk to us. Sooner or later, but he never told his wife he lost a lot of money in the market.
Oh,
While when he came to see us during the interview, that he realized that's what's going on, and basically I became their marriage counselor rather than financial advisor for a while. But they still are a very good client. We become very good friend over a period of time. They still, and this is another case when you try to learn how to anticipate the need of the client. So in this case, we anticipate their needs before they themselves know that something is coming down the pike.
I'm not going to ask you your qualifications for being a marriage counselor, but I'm sure you did a fine job.
Well, I pretended.
Exactly, you pretended very good. So once again, you have been on the Shatner Show, and what do you think it's going to do for your business?
Well, we hope that we get a lot more visibility and a lot more people become aware of the services that we offer, and that we can help them achieve their financial goals.
And Jeet, there is a credibility factor when people see you in the box on a big name show, on a big network, you suddenly go up in people's eyes. Is that one of the reasons for doing it?
We hope so. But besides, William Shatner has been my idol ever since I remember watching TV. His Star Trek shows just keeps in mind. So it was kind of thrilled just to be recognized by him. It was personal best for me, at least. And if more business come, it affects my credibility, more power to it.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much for sharing all of this information with us. I'm sure it was very helpful to a lot of people. And if you're interested in finding out more about new tax regulations or new ways to manage your portfolio, these two gentlemen are the men you want to see. I'm Jan Fox for Fickadenti Tandon Asset Management TV.